Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back. Today I just wanted to make a really quick guide or video, I guess, about the duping system and basically which characters you should be prioritizing. You may have a character and you're wondering, man, are their dupes worth it? And that's what I'm here for. Just a quick overview of who I've actually pulled and who I have dupes for. I have pulled Seal, I have Choi, I have Lem, I have Emma, I have a dupes for all of them. Not maxed out or anything like that. I have like two, I think, for each. No, I have one for him, two for her, I believe, and one dupe of Choi. I have Lee with one dupe. I haven't pulled Bayek yet. I haven't pulled Huang. I have Men, and yeah, that's about it in terms of who I have. But I have looked into all of the dupes and like what they do and sort of how much of a difference it'll make on your character and account. So first, we're gonna start with Seal, who I think has like one of the most important dupes in the game for her character, and it's because your first dupe gives you a 150% increase in damage for her heavy attack, water dragon rush, and lightning kick, which would be her two skills here. And the way you play her is you're going to be cycling between those two skills basically infinitely, like how it says here, as long as you hit them. And it resets the cooldown, so you're using these skills a lot. That 150% increase changes Seal from just a defensive unit to viable DPS for your team. She's water, so really there's no other water DPS competing with her outside of Jen, obviously. So she's kind of your only option, and honestly, you really want this. You want this first dupe bare minimum. Her second dupe is with the break effect, 15% increase. So this is really good for when she's off field and she's supporting Jen. She's also a shielding kind of character, so she gives you your shield. So that's really good. Break and shield is basically break. I say break, and any sort of support that keeps you from dying is really good. Healing, whatever it may be. The user recovers 40 MP. You kind of want to stop here. Like, I'd say if you get two dupes of her, you're good. Really, you can stop with the one. You don't need the extra break and extra damage here. But if you're like really maining her, I'd say stop here. Stop at number 2. The rest of these really good, but to get to the 6th dupe, like, or the 5th dupe, it's a lot of fucking money and luck and RNG, because yeah. But for her, yep, stop there. Stop at dupe 2. I'd say that. Well, we'll look at her. We'll look at her final dupes. You get 40 MP, useless. Increase use max HP. You could have crit damage, kinda useless. Like, this is full DPS at this point. Like, if you're, yeah, maybe if you're building crit damage and HP on her, because she scales off of HP. It's really good. And then this increases your critical hit rate. This one's kind of trash anyway, to be honest with you. It's not worth it. You want to stop at that, preferably star 1. For Choi, the damage of rain flames increases 3-fold during the duration of ultimate hunt. This summons his meteor that some of you may have seen. This allows you to bring down a meteor after you use his ult. Honestly, you don't want dupes of this guy. This is really cool, and it does do a lot of damage, but you really don't need this. It's not enough of a DPS. It's not changing the game for you. It's not changing the character whatsoever. It's not worth continuing to summon. I would say hold off for the next 5-star, which should be Chai Hei, I'd imagine, since she's already on the website. Increases the user's attack. It's not useless, but like, it's useless, not worth pulling for. Not worth pulling for. This is really big. It doubles his DOT, but again, it's not worth coming all the way to 4 stars, and the 5-star is really good, but again, stop at the first one. We'll do Emma next. Emma, I have dupes of her. Really good. She increases the break damage burn up by 77%. So she's your break unit for fire. She's a fire break unit. She pairs with Choi, which is why she's one of the best characters in the game. She has insane break damage. If you get her here, you're probably good to stop. But her star 2 is also really good because you get an extra 10% break effect in general for all of her moves. And people affected by the break effect, it's a plus 20% damage increase. Heat emissions, this is to make it so that goes to team members as well, not just her heat emission ability. That's really good, obviously. But I would stop here, to be honest with you. I would stop here and then maybe go for the 2nd star. Again, a lot of the time it falls off around this midsection, and then at the 5-star, when the target enters the break state, yep, really good. Cooldown, amazing. So we're gonna just finish going through all of these really quick, and then I'll tell you which ones to prioritize dupes for. Lim. So Lim is an amazing break unit as well, filling a sort of same role as Emma. So he enhances the skill effect of shoot and maneuver. This one's really not even worth. I mean, increases the user's skill speed and damage by 25%, and you use it 3 times. So basically what this is saying is his, I want to say Q skill. Yeah, his Q skill, where he's like shoot and maneuver, where he like slides across the ground and fires. You want to use that 3 times, and then you pop the enemy with this, which already has like an insane damage multiplier, which is his other break ability. And then your damage is, that should be a 75% increase in damage for that. So it's a good little combo. Is it worth summoning for? No. I would say getting other characters is way more beneficial. This is really good. His S2 is really good. If you're not going for this, I would say just skip out on that. When Magic Boost is active, increases the effects of core attack, Typhoon Fire. Yeah, these are really good. I'm gonna, every time you use his core attack hits, increases attack by 2%. Not the best. Honestly, he has probably one of the worst ones. He gets a 14% increase in damage. That's fucking horrible for 5 stars. Like, that's crazy. Libora. I have a dupe of her. Skills. So Lee, she's a support basically. That's her entire role. She's a dark support unit. So the effects of summoning charm, Phantom Fox change. When Phantom Fox is used, 3 foxes are summoned. Increases the damage of each Phantom Fox by 50%. Again, you don't want her on the field that long, to be honest with you. And it's cool. I would say just stop. Don't get dupes of her once you pull the character. Increases user's crit rate, crit damage. Again, not really a main DPS type. She just doesn't output damage in the same way Lim does. She doesn't have break, I don't believe. So a lot of the time you're not even going to be running her, to be honest with you. She's not the best. Especially because the way her support works is she leaves a barrier on the field. But with how much you have to move in this game and dodge, like you don't really get to use it. It's too small for you to really be able to stay within the circle unless you're like range. And even with Lim, it's hard because a lot of his kit is sliding, so, and moving around really quickly while firing. So you just don't get to use that buff. You get to use it, and then maybe you can pop his ult and then blast down the target. But even that, you're sliding all over the place. I'd say just, yeah, low priority for all of those. Huang. Greed Scavenger can be charged up to tier 2 and his damage. There's 100% damage increase for his Greed Scavenger. Is his. This is. It's not his ult. Is that the name of his passive? Actually, I don't even see where that is. Yeah, oh, I'm stupid. Okay. Being hit applies the impulse. Yeah, okay. So I guess it's a passive increase. User defense. He scales off of defense, I believe. And then every time Greed Scavenger, yep. Honestly, his don't look the best either. These are like very minimal increases. You get 100% once you can charge your Greed Scavenger to +2 to tier 2, and I'd say low priority dupes overall. You get this is really good, but you got to get through these two to get here. It's just not worth. This is insane. 400% is crazy. If you build him, I can see him becoming like one of those characters that just do insane bursts if you have him all the way at 5 stars. His burst damage would be crazy. Bike, my boy. One of the best SSRs in the game. He has a defense, he decreases defense. Here's the damage of White Flame Gale Kick by 150%. It's one of those things where you take this more, this character labeled as like a defensive unit and you make him insane. So, same thing as Seal, yeah. Same thing as her. Takes your defensive unit and boosts him up to some kind of DPS. Increases the user's break effect. So it's like he's set up the same way as she is, except it goes to one move and then his break effect is just a flat 20% increase. I'd say stop here with him, to be honest with you. But this, actually no. This actually might be worth getting to as well, looking at it. The 3-star, a 30% light damage increase is huge. That's huge. This is where you, through his passives from these, this is how you make him into a DPS. Basically, you take your defensive units and you make them into sort of destruction units. If you've ever played Honkai, Star, and when the user enters stage, recovers power gauge. All of his have a lot of, except for this one, I mean, it's an 8% increase. It could be big depending on your relics, but all of his seem really solid. Men, my boy Men. So this adds his critical hit rate and critical hit damage increase for all members. This is a must-have. Like, you really do want this for him. This is big for your whole team. Like, this is fucking huge. It's for light team members only, but like, if you pulled Bike, then you're good. It's basically, you want to run these two together. You get, that's a massive increase. It's hard to get stats as of right now in the game. That's really big. The user's HP increased by 5%, kind of whatever. I would say just stop here and you're good. If you want to pull down to, nah, yeah, that's it. I think that's where you stop. Just stop right at the top. And then you have finally Wu Jinshu. So he's interesting because we're getting a free copy of him, so you don't really have to worry as much. His first dupe, the effects of meditation and power change increase break effect by 100%, which is huge. Increases break. Everybody knows how important that is for a good chunk of the bosses. He gets defense penetration on his second dupe. The user dasher uses extreme evasion, cooldown of meditation. Honestly, you don't really want to keep pulling. Like, this is crazy. 100% to the user's defense penetration. That's Yeah, increases win, and you're gonna be running defense penetration on him anyway because he's breaking. So that's insane. I'm pretty sure defense penetration is like how quickly you get through shields and stuff like that. And yeah, so if you pull dupes to this guy, don't feel horrible because I know you're getting him for free, so you're like, I really don't want to pull him. But his, if you at least here, his S1 is really good. And as you go down, this one isn't the best, but the rest of these are really good, solid. So now we're gonna talk priority. Now that we've gone through each one and sort of what their kits do and how they change overall. So I'm gonna start with the low priority. Choi is very low priority. You don't need dupes of him. I'm sorry. The increases are so minimal, and it's kind of surprising that they did that. But his increases are just so negligible. An 8% attack increase for S2 for 2 stars is crazy to me. And even after that, it's nothing special. I think it's because he already is built where you pull 1 copy of him and he's really broken. Low priority men, to be honest with you. Well, I wouldn't say low priority, but you don't need a bunch of copies of him. I would say he's good as he is. He's already giving you crit rate and crit damage. But I don't know. I wouldn't put him in low priority, actually. I would put Lee 100% in low priority. Hers is just trying to make her DPS, but she does not. I'm telling you right now, she just does not do the damage to support that. She restricts mobility so much in a game where you have to dodge because of how her buff works, and it's not like you can just switch her skill like how you can with Jin. Like, that's just part of her kit, and to apply that buff you have to stand still or like in a very small radius. Using it against bosses is really stressful unless the boss isn't moving. If we get a stationary boss, it might be more manageable, but the second you have to dodge, everything goes out the window, and it only lasts a few seconds. It does not last long enough. Sale, nope, definitely a priority. I'd say those two are the Huang as well. I don't think his are that crazy. He gets what, 100% increase, but yeah, it falls off after. I say they're kind of important if you're transforming him into like. If you want more DPS, he might be like a priority actually. Yeah, he gets a lot of stuff from his. So yeah, so lowest priority would probably be Choi and Lee, for sure. These two you do not need dupes. I wouldn't worry about it. Lim, same thing. You really just don't need his dupes. He's already doing insane break damage. This isn't a big increase. 75% increase to a skill that you use every now and then, mostly for breaking shield. Like, it doesn't really boost what he's there to do. So I wouldn't worry too much about it. These three, just keep it pushing. Next, I would say the rest of them, I would say you want dupes for sure. It's about where you stop. For Seal, you want to stop either at S1, the first star, or 2 stars, and then you want to stop for sure. Like right here, good place to stop. Emma, you want to stop, I say 2 stars or 1 star for sure. 1 star is really good, and then 2 stars. If you can get her 2 star, I would say get there for sure. Try to get her 2 star. Bayek, you can go as far as you want. For the most part, it gets really crazy as you go along. Bayek, you want to just keep pulling as much as you like the character, I suppose. All of his are good. I wouldn't say there's really a limit on where you should stop per se. Huang, same scenario, honestly, looking at the stuff. You want a lot of this. You want to at least get to his 3rd star, I think. This is really big, the stacking, and then it goes up 3 times. I'd say stop at 3, but honestly, you could probably stop at 1 and just skip out. You don't need the 5% defense increase. to be honest with you, because you have to get through that to get to the third one. So probably just stop at the first star. Men, yeah, you just don't need his. I mean, and if you do want dupes of him, go for the 1 star where he gets the crit rate and crit damage. Woo. All of his are pretty good. You want to stop here probably because you're gonna get a free version of him. And so if you pull him by accident in the banner, here you go. You have your 1 star, and he's pretty solid. He gets 100% increase for break effect on one of his moves. Is really big. Defense penetration by 6% isn't massive, and after that, it's kind of okay. So definitely stop at 1 star, and that's about it for them. The SSRs are really strong in this game. Some significantly stronger than others. I don't see the usefulness in Lee. I may be wrong, but she is horrible to me. Like, I have her with dupes, and I just never use her, even when it's dark content. I would rather run Choi, Emma, and Lim, because for these two, you still get the break effect from Emma for bosses that they may not be strong to. Fire might not be strong to. And then Lim, of course, his break effect is so good. And with Choi, you get a defense down anyway. Especially because this weapon's free. You get increased 5% attack. He's just going to be putting out way more damage. And he also decreases their defense by 7% on top of what his skill naturally does. Which should be this. Yes. They get a defense decrease by 50%, and then the 7% added on top of that, that's a 21% defense decrease, and then he's dealing damage over time. So, like, if you have these two, like, there's plenty of other characters just better than her. Like, just run 3 breakers if you don't have Choi. If you have Choi, you don't have Emma, run Choi with Lim or like any other breaker or shielder, and it's just better than Lee. Lee just doesn't apply too much. She's the lowest dupe priority in my opinion in the game. It's all going towards DPS, but she's a horrible DPS shooter. She attacks slow. All of her moves makes her stationary, and yeah, her one like really good support skill, it's stationary and you have to move around, which is not great. But yep, that's about it for the video. I hope you guys learned something. I hope this made it easier for you to decide which SSRs you want dupes of. And yeah, make sure you get those dupes with Seal if you want to do DPS. Seal, I think she's really cool. She's not doing as much damage as Choi even with her dupes, but with the dupes I have of her, I'm pretty sure I have 2. Let me check. Maybe not. Yeah, I do have 2 dupes of her. I don't have dupes of her. I could have sworn I pulled another lead. I'm going crazy. Either way, her dupes aren't crazy. It's very small increases. Sale, yeah, I already have her at 2 dupes. Really good. She's not putting as much damage, but I also have him at 2 dupes, so I can't really tell you there. Yep, but let me know what you guys think, and I will catch you next time. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, and later.